Some days you wake up and think, my, what has today got in store for me? And some days you wake up and you're told you need to go to a top secret facility in Essex where there'll be a front wheel drive custom built super powerful anger box for you to test out. And today, that's my kind of day. Except this is a van. Where's the anger box?
No Goy, the van is it, and it's not a normal van at all. In fact, it's a bit of an after-hours job. It was created by Ford of Europe, who wanted to know the answer to a very specific question.
What would happen if you put Focus RS running gear into a Transit Connect? It's a niche question, sure, but it's definitely worth an ask. Engine swaps aren't uncommon things. Go to YouTube, search for engine swap, and you'll see all manner of stupid motors stuffed into some very stupid places. But this isn't just any old engine swap. This is legit.
What Ford's bods did was take a Transit Connect Express and replace the drivetrain with a Mark I Focus RS1. Which means it has the same 212 brake horsepower, 229 pound-foot 2-litre turbo 4-pot as the Sacred Hatch. They say 0 to 62 takes less than 7 seconds, which is nice. There's also the front suspension from the Hatch as well. Oh, and RS brakes all round, which is probably a good thing.
In the back there's also a full roll cage, and on top of that 2 spare tyres bolted front and centre in the load bay. Is this for weight distribution purposes? Or is it just a nice place to put them because they look quite nice there all laid out? Either way, it's always good to have a spare.
I'd also like to bring your attention to the interior. Finished in the finest black velvetish. There are some chunky leather Recaros to keep you in place should you get leery with it, and there's absolutely no reason you shouldn't want to.
Because it is fast. You get all of the big induction noises. You hear the car breathing in. It's very excitable. It's a very visceral car because you get all the noise bouncing around the back of it as well. Mark I Focus RS, little bit torque steery, little bit turbo laggy. Now, when this thing came out in the mid-noughties, a weekly car magazine got hold of it and said many wonderful things about it. It also said that Ford had ironed out the torque steer of the Mark I Focus RS. I'm going to demonstrate that that is rubbish. It has not been ironed out. Yeah, it's still very torque steery. It's also very turbo laggy, but it's hilarious. This isn't a van. This is a hot hatch with a really big boot. It is very of its time. The Mark I Focus RS, nowadays, be a bit crap, really. It's got those old school hot hatch thrills to it, but it's also a van. And there's only one of this.
It's an after-hours project, a thing built to show what could be done, a concept car of sorts that you can actually drive. There aren't enough of those, really, in the world. Usually they're delicate, wobbly things made to show what could be, not what can actually be. This is some honest-to-God engineering, and despite its flaws, it's an ace thing. However, it's not really a one-off.
Because there's a new one. A newer Transit Connect, but sadly under the skin isn't Mark III Focus RS running gear. The architecture of the van probably wouldn't take all the all-wheel drive gubbins. Instead, Mark III Focus ST running gear. That means we've got 250 horsepowers from a turbocharged 4-pot. Much like the original van, this is from Lommel in Germany. And it was engineered as basically an after-hours project, using bits that otherwise would have ended up in the crusher. So how is our 250 horsepower new van? You know what? The steering is a lot smoother than the original RS van. The power delivery again is a lot smoother. You feel you can use it a lot more. It doesn't sound half as good though. However, it feels a lot quicker. It's also a lot more usable and a lot more fun. The fit and finish is a little bit better. You see in the Mark I van, it's quite velvetiky and yeah, it's a little bit punchy, even for my taste. There's little by way of torque steer, maybe a little bit when you're absolutely nailing it. The power delivery is smooth, the brakes are a lot better. Essentially, this is RS van refined, but now it's ST van, Connect ST, connects.
Here's the rub. Yes, they're vans. No, they're not going to have much by way of curbside appeal unless you're really into vans and vanning, but they're fun. I mean, you can get yourself a Q car and turn a knackered old Skoda into a rocket, or this.
You can't buy either of these vehicles from Ford, and that is kind of a shame because they go to show that a van can be really, really exciting. However, it has helped me prove a point. See, for years I've been saying the 3 fastest vehicles on the road are, in this order, your dad's car, a hire car, and a van. And today, that's true.